Edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's Late Edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's Late Edition for Tuesday, May 21st, 2013. I'm Lisa Sugar, and if you were watching tonight's Iron Pigs game, you can turn to Service Electric Channel 22 to see the remainder of that game. Tonight, the voting is over, and the ballots are now being tabulated. Tonight, both segments will be dedicated to the results from today's primary races. In sports, the district playoffs continue, and Beth Mensinger is here with the latest, and meteorologist Joe Garbacek tells us if the summer-like weather will stay with us. But first, Late Edition's look at tonight's top stories. Now, before we get to our top stories, we do have breaking news out of Butler Township this evening. A terrible crash on Interstate 80 eastbound at mile marker 261. Now, reports indicate a rollover with double ejection and a possible Class 5, which means a fatality. We do have a videographer en route, and we'll have more information as soon as it becomes available. Well, back to our top story. Of course, today is Election Day. As always, the polls opened at 7 o'clock this morning and closed at 8 p.m. tonight. There is just one statewide race, that being for the Democratic nomination for Superior Court. It pit Philadelphia Judge Joseph Waters against Pittsburgh Judge Jack McVeigh. The winner will face Republican Vic Stabile in the fall. Races were municipal, county, or school board. Turnout was expected to be low, but in many places it was even lower than expected.
Need my card?
Yes, please.
Voter turnout as of right now has been very slow today. We are possibly expecting a little bit of a bigger turnout at dinner time evening after people get out of work.
In races that are in this area, important races or just the races in general, what do people expect to see?
Most races here are races in general. There is a Superior Court race, there is the Luzerne County Council, there's some candidates, as well as the controller's race for the Luzerne County and the Wilkes-Barre Area School Board.
I'd say it's like 48 people out of 1,300. I'd say I think we're only expecting maybe about 25%. And although it's not a presidential election, there's still the school board, city council, and it would be nice if people came out and vote.
Slow voting today. We had a good turnout in the morning, then it lulls, and then we get a burst, and then it just slows down. And we thought maybe with the weather we'd get more voters today.
I don't even be able to tell it has anything to do with. Do you see a difference between the primary and the general election here in Monterey City?
We do see a difference between the primary and general elections. When you have a primary, there's people like the ballot. The Republican ballot wasn't really had people on it, so there was a lot of write-in candidates today. Maybe people just didn't want to write in the candidates today.
Voter turnout's been, I'd describe it slow and steady. I mean, they're coming in onesies and twosies. I know the county was predicting like around 20%. That's probably about what we're seeing right now. We still have, about 10 hours to go, I guess, and I don't expect it to change too much.
It's our civic duty. If we want change, we have to help make it happen.
Is there a particular race that brought you out here today?
The supervisor's race.
How about the races like the county controller with the problems that were happening with the county controller? Does something like that matter to you?
Absolutely.
Now, we will have results and analysis with our L.A. Tyrone coming up in just a few minutes, so please stay tuned. Meanwhile, today's election was not without controversy. Before the voting actually began this morning, there was a problem at Ward 4 in the city of Hazleton. When the polls opened this morning at 7 a.m., Nadine Nepper was in line ready to cast her ballot at Hazleton's 4th Ward inside the Southside Fire Station. But that is not what happened.
I went to vote at 7 a.m. this morning. I was in line a few minutes early. And in the 4th Ward, when we were allowed to come in and get to the table, we were told that they hadn't received their box of supplies, so therefore we were unable to vote at that time. We asked how long it would be, and we were then told even if the box got there right at that point, it would be a minimum of an additional 45 minutes until the machines and things were set up for us to vote.
Nadine talked with me via telephone this morning from Bethlehem. Upset by her missed opportunity, she contacted the Luzerne County Election Bureau.
I phoned the Election Bureau of Luzerne County, and I had gotten a call back, and I was told that I should have been offered a provisional ballot at that time. There were a few of us there, and none of us were offered any such opportunity at that point. I was told the only recourse would be for myself to get back into town before 8 p.m. to go ahead and vote. And I asked what may have happened, and I was told that the belief was that the box of materials was stolen from the front porch of the judge of elections.
Now, we also spoke with attorney Stephen Menn, assistant solicitor for Luzerne County, about her problem.
We're aware that a box was stolen from a judge of elections porch. When we became aware of that, which was probably around 6:10, 6:15, we immediately took action to get all the documentation and paperwork and those items that are needed to have the election boxes that people vote on brought up to speed so that they can vote on it. We clearly couldn't have that because we learned about it so late or so early in the day before the election that probably between 7 and 7:40, the machines weren't up ready for people to vote at that time.
Attorney Menn believes everyone inconvenienced, including Nadine, was given the opportunity for a provisional ballot.
As I understand, probably around 4 people showed up to vote then. 3 of them were given provisional ballots to vote. And 1 person said they could not wait for the provisional ballot and left and did not vote. That person is welcome to come back anytime before 8 o'clock to cast their vote. And those who provided the provisional ballots are also welcome to come back if they wish to vote on the machine.
However, Knepper told me she was never offered the option of a provisional ballot. Meanwhile, Hazleton police are investigating. According to a police report, an election box was delivered to the 300 block of East Broad Street 3 days ago and left by the front door. At that time, an unknown person or persons removed the box. Anyone with any information is asked to call Hazleton police or dial 911. Meanwhile, tonight, Attorney Menn is confident that this morning's issue with that box will not impact the results of today's primary election.
I want to certainly assure the people and the candidates who are running that it will not affect this election for them.
Now, Nadine did call me later today, and she did tell me she made it back from Bethlehem from her job and was able to cast her ballot for tonight's election. Well, another problem centered around a noticeable error on today's ballot in the city of Hazleton. Late Edition's Ann Gownley has that story.
As residents of the city of Hazleton headed out to vote today, many were surprised when they got to their ward that there was no list for Hazleton City Council. But what they did find was a discrepancy, listing the city of Hazleton as Hazleton Borough.
And here it is, right on the ballot, Borough Council Member. Hazleton was officially named a city on December 1819, not a borough. As judge of elections at the 8th Ward inside Hazleton City Hall, Ron Sando looked for his cousin's name on the list of candidates, and when he didn't see it, that was when he noticed the discrepancy.
I actually thought that my cousin might be running for a council I didn't know about, but I didn't think twice about it.
But several people did, requesting the help of Sando and other poll workers.
When they were finished with their whole ballot, they asked for help. And they said, where do I vote for city council? Because I can't find it here.
Sando says he is unaware of who voted for council or whether they even saw the error, and adds when it comes down to who wins and loses in the primary, the error could be a big factor, especially for write-in candidates.
Who knows? If the election comes down to just a few votes, that could be a very crucial thing by having the improper word for the council.
At the 9th Ward, located at Our Lady of Grace Parish in Hazleton, Judge of Elections Joe McGarry says he did make the Luzerne County Bureau of Elections aware when he noticed the error. McGarry says several voters at his ward were also confused.
Several different women show me that it's incorrect, and yes, so I just instructed them that it was an error, and to vote for anyone that's listed on the sheet, yes.
For an explanation for this error, we went to Luzerne County Assistant Solicitor Stephen Menn, who says the county was made aware of it and says it was just a typo.
We do not believe that will have any effect on the election. I'm sure people are going to go in there and recognize that Hazleton is not a borough, but is a city, and the names are correct and in the proper place in the ballot. So we don't believe that will have any effect on the election.
Men says candidates could file an objection if they believe it had an effect on the outcome, but again, Men says this error shouldn't affect the results. In Hazleton, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ann Gownley.
Thank you, Ann. Well, with nearly 80 years of voting experience under her belt, Viola Jones headed to her polling place in Cunningham today with the help of her son. Over the years, she's voted for presidents from Franklin Roosevelt to John F. Kennedy and Dwight D. Eisenhower. She tells us at age 101, she was happy to come out and vote rather than send in an absentee ballot.
I couldn't believe today at my age that I was out here voting, I tell you. God, over 100. Oh, my goodness. Barry said, "You're going up to vote." I said, "You're crazy." No way. Yes, you are. So here I am.
We asked Viola if she had any advice for younger voters before they go to the polls.
I just think that today, the kids, I don't think many of the kids vote, do they?
I don't know.
Do they?
Some do, some don't. Yeah. They're not,
Yeah. But they should. They should. I think it makes them smarter.
Very good advice. Jones says she will always remember voting consistently at Camp Hill. She can't pick a favorite election year because she said they were, quote, all great. And we think she's great for having such an excellent voting record. Well, today we asked the following question on our Facebook page. Are you exercising your right to vote today? Tell us why or why not. Were there any races that were of the utmost importance to you? Now, in response, Brianna Paulshock of Beaver Meadows wrote, I live in Beaver Meadows and I think it is very important to vote because change starts with us. Bryce Digger wrote, I always vote. If you do not vote, then you can't complain. And Mary Sharon Osachi-Yenchko wrote, I vote because I have an opinion. If I didn't vote, I would not have the right to complain about what happens in government. Now again, coming up, see how your vote did matter as we discuss the numbers that are in thus far in today's primary election. Well, West Hazleton police are investigating a theft at Pantry Quick on North Broad Street. It happened around 8 p.m. last night. According to police, an unknown male entered the beer sales portion of the convenience store and removed a 24-pack of Budweiser beer from a display shelf and fled the store without paying. A second man held the entrance door open to assist in that escape. Borough Police released these surveillance photos of the incident. If you recognize the men in the photos, you're asked to call West Hazleton Police at 455-3733 or else dial 911. Thousands of homes lost and a death toll that stands tonight at 24 people, including 9 children, from a tornado that touched down last night in Moore, Oklahoma. INN's Mike Mickle reports.
It all began with this ominous scene in the sky. Storm chasers in awe of how fast it grew and how big.
It was one of the tornadoes that I've never seen intensify this quickly. And, it went from an EF1 to an EF3 or 4 in a matter of about 15 minutes.
Time-lapse video shows the tornado form and touch down. You can see how the funnel of that tornado takes shape. Then the storm moves through the area, kicking up debris. In that tornado's direct path, 2 elementary schools, Plaza Towers and Briarwood Elementary. Miraculously, all children at Briarwood survived, but sadly, there are deaths at Plaza Towers. One student who made it out of this wreckage describes what he experienced.
It was just debris. There was just cars beat up. My mom was flipping out about her car.
Are you doing all right, bud? I know this is pretty wild to take all in at one time. Have you had a chance to talk to your mom?
Yeah, she was on top of me. She was able to be with me.
Is she a teacher?
Yeah. She's a 6th grade teacher as well. She was my 4th hour.
And this emotional reunion between a mother and son. That child was inside Plaza Towers Elementary. Here you see Trinda Purcell weeping after she finds her son Camden. There were plenty of other reunions just like this, but sadly, there are other parents who are still waiting and hoping for a miracle.
INN's Mike Mickle. Now, the American Red Cross has already started trying to help the victims of the tornadoes. It has already sent 30 emergency vehicles to dispense food and relief supplies. But it can still use your help. There are several ways you can. you can go to the Red Cross website, which is redcross.org, or you can contact your local Red Cross office. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Remember, we have results from the election coming up shortly, but right now, time to check in to the Weather Center and meteorologist Joe Garbochik. Joe, the weather definitely cooperated for the voting today.
Sure thing, Lisa. Definitely feeling summer-like, seeing temperatures in the 80s to near 90 degrees. If you like today's weather, how about one more day of it? I think I have it for you coming up next.
Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, it's time to get grilling with their now famous 25% off all fresh ground beef sale. Taste the difference.
Welcome to Robert Stevens Face and Body, Hazleton's complete skincare center. Here, our licensed specialists will consult with you to discuss your skincare needs, rejuvenate you with our special facial treatments, and apply gentle, relaxing massages to melt your tension away, using all state-of-the-art technical treatments and superior skin products. So call today and let the transformation begin at Robert Stevens Face and Body, 788-7546.
Cuz it don't look like a restaurant. Schmisket time. Dude, it's midnight. 24/7 style. Time to cook up some abs. Oh no, she didn't.
And she had the nerve to speak to me. We're not even friends anymore.
Yes, she. Mac and cheese for me.
Touch the screen. Get the awesome food.
Pennsylvania's filled with interesting things. You just need to know where to look. Come with us off the beaten path.
Alrighty, well, nice looking day across northeastern and central Pennsylvania today, and looks like another nice day tomorrow, a very warm day, feeling more summer-like across our region, and after that, going to get a little bit cooler for this upcoming weekend and early next week. Of course, we know about that devastating tornado that hit yesterday, especially the suburbs of Oklahoma, specifically Moore. Just an astounding tornado. In fact, this was measured as an EF5 on the enhanced Fujita scale, which means it had winds in excess of 200 miles per hour. It actually was 1.3 miles wide. It was only on the ground for about 40 minutes, but the path length was about 20 miles. Unfortunately, there were 24 fatalities, and with those 24 fatalities, there were 9 children that lost their lives, and at least 237 people were injured. So this was a very powerful tornado. In fact, as strong as you can possibly get, it being an EF5. And all the ingredients have come together. This is prime time, if you will, for severe weather, specifically tornadoes, especially during the month of May. You had the hot, humid air colliding with the cooler and drier air. Of course, that leads to those thunderstorms and instability in the atmosphere, and many times out of those thunderstorms with the severe weather, tornadoes do occur, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. And here's a look at the enhanced Fujita scale, starting from an EF0 all the way to an EF5, and of course it doesn't go any higher than that. An EF5 have winds in excess of 200 miles per hour. And it shouldn't surprise you having tornadoes in that region, because it has the highest threat, specifically during the month of May. So unfortunately, if you live in that area, you have to be prepared for that type of weather this time of year. Closer to home, our Live 35 Skycast Doppler, really nothing showing up. Fairly quiet across northeastern Pennsylvania. 69 degrees, our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our television station in Hazleton. And we have been dry since the midnight hour. Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 85 and 62. That's well above the averages of 71 and 49. 92 and 30 record high and low. Still stand 540, 821. Sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. 70 in New Angola, 75 in Berwick, 74 in Bloomsburg, 74 in Monomoy City, as well as Danville. Satellite and radar, most of the activity. The showers, the thunderstorms concentrate up toward the north. That's where all those severe thunderstorm watches were in effect, including extreme northeastern Pennsylvania and the northern tier of Pennsylvania. But other than that, it's been fairly quiet across our area. Now heading into tomorrow, again, could be looking at a shower or thunderstorm or two across our area and a better chance of some widely scattered showers and thunderstorms going into our Thursday, and then as we go into our Friday, maybe a couple of leftover showers around. So a mild night for tonight. Again, a very warm day tomorrow, getting up into the 80s. Another very mild night heading into tomorrow night. And notice as you head into noontime hour on Thursday, temperatures already in the 70s. So another nice day tomorrow. If you like the warmth, it's going to feel like summer. Shower or thunderstorm temperatures up into the 80s. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. Here's what we can expect heading into the next couple of days. Getting cooler for Thursday, even more cool for Friday in the 60s, and looking like a nice weekend into next week. Generally temperatures in the 60s. That will make it below average, but comfortable. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily 777, the big 4, 6171. Quinto numbers looking like this, 80526. And the cash 5, 522, 23, 34, and 43. Lisa.
Thanks, Joe. Well, coming up, the numbers are coming in, and L.A. Tyrone will join me live next with the very latest on Late Edition.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Tamaqua, PA is a 3-generation family-owned and operated dealership entering their 33rd year of business and continues to uphold the family philosophy that every customer should be treated as part of the family. Stop in and let them show you how they honor these values. You'll meet a family member in every department, from finding your new car in sales to low interest rates and financing and extending your vehicle's life and service.
Give us the opportunity to show you. We're big enough to serve you, but small enough to know you.
When it comes to the Wire Guys, you are going to have an amazing experience. And if it means giving you back your money, plus, I'm going to do it. We guarantee everything. 112% money back guarantee. Labor and material guaranteed for a year. So you don't really need to worry about it. You're going to walk up to the wall, throw the switch, put your power cords in, the outlets, and everything is the way it's supposed to be. Call me. Your time is valuable. If we're late, you get paid.
The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce welcomes all vendors and crafters to participate in the Downtown Hazleton Farmers Market beginning Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 20 West Broad Street. To become a vendor, call 570-455-1509 or email info@hazletonchamber.org.
The friendly people at Pantry Quick at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton for decades has been your first stop for lottery tickets, munchies, and soda. Now Pantry Quick is your first stop for 6-packs of your favorite beer. All the domestic name brands such as Budweiser, Coors Light, and Miller Lite, Landshark, and Yuengling. Pantry Quick also carries a large variety of imports and craft beers. Stop in today to Pantry Quick, now carrying all your favorite beers at the corner of Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets in Hazleton.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Ting is going to explain to us what carpal tunnel syndrome is, and surprisingly, you may not need surgery to cure it. His solutions, they're coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
Welcome back. Well, it's been an interesting election day, and L.A. Tyrone is here right now with what we have thus far, and the numbers are coming in extremely slowly. That we can tell you. Schuylkill County is the only one that has issued some final numbers right now. Right. Luzerne and Carbon, they're still coming in, and Luzerne County's website has crashed, correct?
Luzerne County's website has crashed, so the two newspapers, the Citizens Voice and the Times Leader, are still putting numbers up because they did what Joe and I were joking about this afternoon. They did it the old-fashioned way. They sent reporters to the courthouse with paper and pen to get the numbers. I guess they're probably using smartphones, but whatever. But in Greater Hazleton, we do have some local numbers. And let's start with Hazleton City Council, where the two candidates who were backed by Mayor Joe Iannuzzi have significant problems. On the I don't know if we're putting Republican or Democrats. So let's start with the Republican side. There are only two names on the ballot for three nominations. Jeff Cassatt, 546 votes. Jim Perry, 431. Now, that third slot is for the write-in, for a write-in. And I saw a few with Antonio Rodriguez, and Ms. Chapman got some votes, but there were a lot for Mundy and Sosar. It appears very likely that one or the other will get that third nomination. I mean, we're talking there were over 100 at a couple of polling places I went. There were some spelling mistakes. So do they count M-U-N-D-Y as Mundy? That's up to the Elections Bureau. But it is very possible that it would be Cassatt, Perry, and Mundy, or Cassatt, Perry, and Sosar. And it's not completely out of the question that it would be Cassatt, Sosar, and Mundy. Because they got a lot of write-in votes. There's no question one or the other will get the third nomination. It's possible they may get the second and third.
That will be interesting to see then if Mundy would have both nominations and where this would turn up. But Dave Sosar had been on city council years ago.
Yeah, in the early 90s with Everyone Graham,
yeah, so he looking to go back there again and see what happens. So this is still undetermined. We don't really know what...
Well, no, they're until they... all our numbers, by the way, of course, every number you're seeing tonight is unofficial
unscientific.
until they're certified by a county on Friday. But that's what it looks like at this point. On the Democrat side, Kevin Shatter was the hand-pick of Iannuzzi for the open seats when Karen Cabell resigned. He's in third place by quite a margin. Jack Mundy's on top with 602. That's also interesting because Mundy is the most vehement of the fighting with Iannuzzi people on city council. He's the top vote getter at 602. Dave Sosar's in second place with 588. Kevin Shatter with 451. And then Carlos Mejia with 298. And had Mejia spent any money, I feel he probably could have done a little bit better, but he didn't have that much to spend. So that's what the city looks like. Let's also talk about the Hazel Township races. Richard Wenches put on a strong campaign for both the 2-year term and the 6-year term. He finished in third place in both. Francis Butchie Byarski wins the 6-year term. He has 427 votes. Richard Verbonitz finishes in second place with 211 votes, and Winches in third with 196. For the 2-year term, it's Montone winning with 389. Verbonitz next with 210. Winches next with 136. We can also, what else you got?
I have Cunningham.
Go ahead, run down
So for the
Cunningham.
borough of Cunningham, there were 4 seats up on the Republican, only Republicans running. So right now, the top vote getters, Ray Schneider, 158. In second place, Jim Sousa, who is an incumbent with 151. Our third place vote getter, Jake Corelli, whose father is the mayor, 143 votes. And the fourth top vote getter, Ron Shatter,
looks like
133.
Shatter.
Now, Sousa and Shatter are both incumbents. Dick Sebring was an incumbent running, and right now it looks like Oh, he's winning for the
No, he's losing for the 2-year term.
He's losing
Joe
for the
Gallagher
2-year.
is
Joe
on top of
Gallagher's
149 votes.
So Sebring, it looks like, is out, and that Sousa and Shatter, along with Corelli and Ray Schneider. Schneider had run last time unsuccessfully. This is Jake Corelli's first time running, and his father unopposed for mayor in Cunningham. Also in Freeland for the mayor race, we have Ed Appleman over John Buda, 94 to 86. There was no Democrat on the ballot.
Now, that again, and the same with the Cunningham Borough Council race, all those people, the Republicans, all ran efforts to get the write-in nomination.
Yeah.
So just because it looks like the race is over tonight, it may not be. It depends on who got the Democrat nominations, because you still may have one or two of the unsuccessful Republicans to get Democrat nominations.
They need so many votes to get considered before they can get put on the ballot. So yeah, that is definitely a possibility that can happen. Going to county council, on the Republican side right now, we don't know how many precincts are actually reporting out of the 177, so we don't know what these numbers really mean.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, we have mostly percentages. At this point, I don't know. It looks like DeFabo is the odd man out. DeFabo and Milanis both at the bottom with 13%. Kathy Dobash ran very, very strongly around Hazleton, and so did Sue Rossai. I don't, at this point, we don't
Kelleher
know
and
about the
Hawes
rest of
with
the county.
20% supposedly right now. Dobash and Rossai with 16%, and Milanis and DeFabo each with 13%. So 5 seats up for grabs right there. No contest on the Democratic side. So, and we don't know anything about the Walter Griffith, Karen Seppa
Well, I know from around here, the polls that we had on the bottom of the screen, they were mostly Hazleton area polls. Griffith was up, but it was close. And Dave Yonkai was right and I was wrong. I thought Griffith would win by a larger margin, but I don't know county-wide. And again, in Greater Hazleton, Michelle Bednar had been beating Steve Urban by a considerable margin. And again, I wasn't tremendously surprised at that, because even though Urban has been a Titan, he's been a Republican Titan for most of his...
and he switched, and now he doesn't have the support maybe of the Democrats.
Let's quickly run down the Hazleton Area School Board. Just doing these off the top of my head, the numbers we had. On the Democrat side, Jim Chapman ran great. Now, this is not, just to keep in mind, this is the city, the township, a couple of other areas. It does not include Carbon County. We have not gotten any numbers from Carbon. We did get them from Schuylkill, but they're not in the totals I have here. So, but at this point, Jim Chapman appears to be the top vote getter on both sides. He's got 821 as a Democrat and 483 as a Republican. In second place on the Democrat side, it appears to be Clarence John in second, Bob Mahalik in third, Carmela Yankiewicz in fourth with 545, and then it looks like Tom Chirico and Jared O'Donnell in fifth and sixth. And on the Republican side, it's Chapman on top with 483. Looks like Mahalik in second place with 378, then O'Donnell with 321, followed by Yankiewicz with 359, and John with 436, and Freddie Mariano probably beat O'Donnell on the Democrat side. He beat O'Donnell on the Republican side and on the Democrat side, but it doesn't look like he's going to finish in the top four. But again, they're all unofficial at this point.
We're going to have to take a break right now, but we are coming back with more results.
We got more.
So don't go anywhere, because we will be back to talk with you live about the latest results that are coming in. But Beth has sports when we come back right after the break.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer-dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WILN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky trays, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
Welcome to tonight's first half of sports, where we are continuing with district baseball and softball playoffs. First up, the Wyoming Valley Conference champions, the Berwick Bulldogs, seeded third in 3A District 2 behind Valley View and North Pocono. They played host to Wyoming area. The Warriors were also pretty strong in the Wyoming Valley Conference this year, but during a regular season meeting on the baseball diamond, Berwick got the win. 2-1. Let's see how it played out for the Dogs tonight. Top of the third, it's the Warriors' Joe Gavinonis. He sack flies to right field, but will get the RBI, bringing Bart Chupka home across the plate. Wyoming area up 6-1 here. Moving to the bottom of the inning, Jordan Stout doubles to right center, and senior TJ Lashek will cross home plate. Berwick will be down 6-2. Going to the top of the fourth inning, Zach Lepaka at the plate. He gets 2 when he rips it to center field. 2 runs will score, bringing the Warrior lead to 8-2. Bulldogs trying to make a comeback in the fourth inning. Kyle Miller will get to first base, and Anthony Melito, he will score on the Wyoming area third baseman error. And then it's Joe Favada. He will get the RBI with the single to center. It's 11-4, Berwick trailing, and they will trail the remainder of the game. The final in Berwick, Wyoming area 12, Berwick 4. It was the first round of Single A District 11 softball playoffs. The Division III champs in the Schuylkill League, the Lady Golden Bears of Monomoy area, were on their home turf, hosting the Golden Girls of Nativity. In the top of the first inning, Nativity will take the quick 2-0 lead as Ashley Houlihan is on the mound for Monomoy area. But during the first at-bat for the Lady Bears, Houlihan on the other side of the ball with a big double to left field, or to center field, right there. And that will bring number 3 hitter Marcella Sheeler to the plate next. Sheeler with a big hit there, and Houlihan will score off Sheeler's RBI single. The Lady Bears will trail 2-1. It was quiet in the second inning, so skipping to the bottom of the third, Mono area has a base runner on third. Ashley Wilner will knock that run in with a single, tying it up at 2s. But from the fourth inning on, it will be all Nativity. The Golden Girls will crank up their bats and score 5 runs, and will move on to the next round of the playoffs. Ending the Monomoy area girls season, the final in Monomoy City, Nativity 7, Monomoy 2. And it was a busy week in Little League Baseball for the WYLN sports crew, and there's still more to come. Last night we were back at Whispering Willows Park for Game 3 of our 4-game series that we are broadcasting at Valley West Little League. It was a matchup last night between Cunningham Builders and McNeilis Law. On Thursday we will wrap it all up with Game 4 of the series between Valley Athletic and Malath Design. The rebroadcast times of those games will be announced later in the week, so make sure you stay tuned right here to WYLN so you can check them out right here on Channel 7. Lisa's coming back next with the top stories of the night. Make sure you stick around.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
What in the... Tom, it is 2 a.m.
You know, I just love this on-demand thing. Tons of extra choices, pause, rewind.
You are always here watching my on-demand. Why don't you just get rid of your dish and get digital cable yourself?
You know, I'd love to. But I still have 7 months left on my contract.
Service Electric Digital Cable with On-Demand. The best TV in the neighborhood.
Recapping tonight's top story, we had breaking news to bring you out of Butler Township this evening. Now, we did have reports of a terrible crash on Interstate 81. That is eastbound at mile marker 261. Now, the reports indicated a rollover with double ejection. That is a photo from the scene taken by our Nate Yergis, who is literally just back from the scene just moments ago. There was also a possible Class 5, which means a fatality. Now, they did abort life flight coming to the scene because of the weather. The one person was a trauma 1 level critical condition and was being taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital Center. We will, of course, have more information if it becomes available to you. Again, that is on Interstate 80 eastbound at mile marker 261, a double ejection, and one person possibly killed in that terrible accident in Butler Township. If you're in that vicinity, please drive with caution. When we come back, of course, we will have more numbers from tonight's primary election. So join L.A. Tyrone and me in just moments with that, and Beth will be back with the second half of sports.
And we'll crank up the heat once again for tomorrow, but a cool down in our forecast. We'll talk about it in just a few.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
At Cuck's Turkey Farm, we are family owned and operated for over 45 years, and we consistently strive to produce premium poultry. We offer the finest all-natural country poultry, antibiotic-free, all-vegetarian fed with superior white meat yield and exceptional flavor. So we invite you to experience the unique natural taste of our poultry for your enjoyment and your health. Give us a call or stop in today.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
The numbers keep coming in. We have more results to bring to you right now. Coming out of Schuylkill County in the borough of McAdoo on the Democratic race for council, 3 seats up for grabs. It looks like the top vote getters there are Joe Madochik, the incumbent, with 220 votes. John Shigo, an incumbent, in second place with 203, followed by Robert Willis with 194. Now, Brian Colbush, who had been on council in previous years, received 79 votes, and Mark Liska with 49 so far. So that's what, and I believe these are final, are they not? They're final for McAdoo.
That's all precincts in McAdoo.
So it's Madochik, Shigo, and Willis going on the Democratic side. They'll face Republicans Jason Trimmel, Brian Welsh, and Ed Beelan in the primary. And then it looks like another matchup with Dane Watrow and Steve
Hawley, right.
For mayor.
I doubt either one made much of an effort to win the other side's write-in, and they're both pretty strong candidates. So it's Hawley and Watrow in the fall.
Also, Pottsville Mayor.
That's interesting.
And the Republican side.
Yeah, because Scott Thomas is a younger sort of upstart councilman, while Phil McClintock has been around for a while in Pottsville politics. But Thomas wins big tonight by 508 to 299. That's on the Republican side. And he will face
James Muldowney.
I couldn't think of his first name. I was going to say Joe, but that's the previous mayor. He was mayor when I worked in Pottsville 12 years ago. James Muldowney, who is the Democrat.
Now, Mahanoy City Council on the Democratic side, 4 seats up for grabs there. Top vote getter looks to be Raymond Cavanis with 278. Tom Mazikis with 216. Scott Klein, 196. And John Runiak with 181, and the person that didn't make it, Eric Petrich, with 161 votes. So that looks like the way it's going to go down there for Mahanoy City Council on the Democratic side. For Mahanoy Area School Board, we have 4 seats. 4 seats up for grabs. Of course, they all cross-filed, and it looks like the top 4 vote getters are Steve Knoll with 983. Karen, I'm trying to see. Yatsena with 907 votes. Jay Hanley with 709. And also Mary D. Casimiro with 642 3 votes. I believe that's what that says right now. So they look like the top 4 vote getters for Mahanoy Area School Board in North Schuylkill. 5 seats up for grabs, the top 5. Glenn Wiest with 1,503. Suzanne O'Neill, 1,439. Doug Gressens with 1,329. Tom Fletcher, 1,191, and Janine Sims with 1,182. They look like your top 5 vote getters.
Over 1,000 votes, so
that's
the
pretty
turnout
many
must
there,
have been pretty good in
not anywhere
North
else.
Schuylkill.
Not anywhere else, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and what else do you have?
Where we're having the hardest time getting any of the returns have been from Luzerne County, oddly. In Columbia County, they've also been a little bit slow. I have a partial one in that race for Berwick Mayor Kirk Bauer leading Andrew Schechter, but again, fewer than half the precincts were in, and I have it 66 to 42. So that will likely, those numbers will certainly change by the time we come to tomorrow morning. And in Bloomsburg Mayor, again, pretty much the same thing. Sandy Davis on top with 61 votes. Diane Lavon in second place with 35, and then Eric Bowser with 29 in third. But again, fewer than half the precincts in. So by tomorrow morning, those numbers will also have changed. And that seat is open because popular Mayor Dan Nord decided not to seek another term. He ran against Dave Millard in the State House last year, came up short and decided not to run for another term. And what else?
Butler Township we didn't get between Jim Caffrey and Brian Meso, the Republicans' Fran Polidoro. We don't know.
And Sugarloaf as well. Sugarloaf we were not able to get anything from. Again, we relied on newfangled methods instead of doing what Lisa and I initially talked about doing, which was sending somebody up to the courthouse the old-fashioned way, and unfortunately we didn't do that. So the Standard Speaker should have numbers tomorrow because the newspapers do have reporters there. Any numbers that you see anyplace else, if WBRE or WNEP have them, that's what they're getting from the newspaper site because the county's website bugged out. Let me recap a couple of them around town. Again, the Hazleton City Council race on the Democrat side. Jack Mundy, big top vote getter with 602. Dave Sosar, a close second with 588. And then Kevin Shatter, the guy who was selected to fill the open seat on City Council by Mayor Joe Yannuzzi, came in a distant third with 451. And on the Republican side, there were only 2 names on the ballot. Jeff Cassatt, big with 546 votes. Jim Perry, who's been the incumbent City Council president, 431. The write-in votes are still not certain. But from looking at the numbers that I've seen, and I stopped in a couple of polling places, it appears that both Sosar and Monday got somewhere near 60 to 100 write-in votes at each of those polling places, which means there's no question that one or the other will be third, and it's possible they may be the second and third, depending on how many misspellings the County Election Bureau decides to allow. So,
and very beneficial if you can win a nomination on both sides, because then they add them together in the general election. So you're
very hard to beat when you got a double nomination.
When you got a double
for a partisan one anyway. That can happen in a school board. Even then, it's more difficult. But for a municipal election, you're pretty much in.
So. It remains to be seen, and we are out of time, so we'll continue to see what happens, and of course we'll have much more tomorrow.
Follow-ups, interviews, all that stuff tomorrow on Topic A tomorrow at 5, and Beth Scott Sports coming up next. Stay here.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Longing for the warm days of summer? Well, you can get your favorite taste of summer right now. Rita's on the Airport Road in Hazel Township is now open for the season. Check out their new ice flavors like chocolate chip cookie dough ice, plus all your favorites like gelati, mistos, blendinis, milkshakes, and new for spring, unlimited topping sundaes. Why choose just one when you can have them all for one low price? Rita's, now open. Stop in today. Valley Pets is having a Faithful Friends yard sale Saturday and Sunday, May 25th and 26th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Donations are welcome. Table rentals are $25 for both days, and all proceeds are donated to the local animal shelters and the SPCA. That's the Faithful Friends yard sale at Valley Pets, Route 93 in Cybertsville. For more information, call Valley Pets at 570-788-9889.
The host cities for Super Bowl 50 and 51 were announced this morning. They are San Francisco and Houston, respectively, in February 2016 and February 2017. Technically, the San Francisco Super Bowl will be played in the 49ers' future Santa Clara home, recently named Levi Stadium. The new $1.2 billion stadium is set to open in 2014. Eagles quarterback Michael Vick says critics who claim he holds on to the ball for too long before he makes the throw doesn't know what they're talking about. He told PhillyMag.com those people who are talking and are saying that are just ignorant and they know nothing about football. New Eagles coach Chip Kelly has been working with Vic on doing a better job of holding on to the ball and is encouraging him to run more. We'll see how that one goes. Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo will miss at least 3 weeks of an off-season workout after an operation to remove a cyst from his back. Romo underwent the procedure last month and could return for the mandatory minicamp, which starts June 11th. He will be ready for training camp in July. Hall of Fame goalie Patrick Roy is apparently the next head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. The Denver Post reports Roy's younger brother Stefan leaked the announcement. The club itself has been quiet. The Avs fired Joe Sacco after finishing last in the Western Conference with a 16-25 record. Roy played in Colorado for 8 seasons before retiring in 2003. He won a Stanley Cup with the Avs in 1996 and in 2001. The San Francisco Giants will be without pitcher Ryan Vogelsong for quite a stretch. He broke his throwing hand chasing an inside fastball while batting last night. Vogelsong broke two bones along the right pinky and dislocated a knuckle in the area that the medical staff couldn't get popped back into place. He was scheduled for surgery this morning at Stanford and said he would likely have pins inserted to stabilize the hand. Despite leading the club to its best record in years, Vinny Del Negro is out as the Los Angeles Clippers coach. The club opted to not offer a new contract to him. His current deal expires in June 30th. Del Negro coached the Clippers to a franchise record 56 wins this season and the Pacific Division title, but they were ousted by the Memphis Grizzlies in the opening round of the Western Conference playoffs, losing in 6 games after taking a 2-0 series lead. Del Negro went 128 wins and 102 losses in 3 seasons as the Clippers coach and owns a 210 and 184 career record with Los Angeles and the Chicago Bulls. And Brian Colangelo is out as GM of the Toronto Raptors, but he will remain with the team in his role as team president. Colangelo will continue to report directly to new Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment CEO Tim Lewicki, but will no longer have the final say on the team's basketball decisions. That job will belong to the team's new general manager, whom Lewicki is hoping to name within the next 30 days. Now let's check out our national scoreboard. Tonight, the Baby Pens have the night off. They are facing the Bruins in Game 7 of their Calder Cup playoffs series tomorrow night, but the NHL playoffs are still on. It's the Boston Bruins over the Rangers 2-1 and the Los Angeles Kings, and the San Jose Sharks playing in the first. Sharks up 1-0. The NBA playoffs continue now tonight between the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Grizzlies are trailing in the third. Moving to baseball, it was Reading over Altoona, Harrisburg over Erie in 7 innings, and Akron shuts down Bowie 13-12. International League, Iron Pigs win. Scranton Wilkes-Barre falls to Columbus, and Durham over the Tide 3-2. And in the majors, the Yankees fall to the Orioles in 10 innings. Detroit 5-1 over the Indians, and Tampa Bay 4-3 over Toronto. It's Oakland up 1-0 on Texas. Red Sox are trailing the White Sox 2-1, and Houston is up on the Royals in the 7th. In the third, Angels are winning Against the Mariners by 3 runs. In the National League, Pittsburgh wins, the Reds win, and the Braves are up 3-2 in the 8th. Phillies get the W over the Marlins. Brewers up in the 6th, 5-3, and it's tied at 4s with the D-backs and the Rockies. In the 2nd inning, the Padres won, the Cards have nothing, and the Nationals have the 2-0 lead on the Giants. That one is in the 2nd inning. Stick around, Joe Gorbaczyk's coming right back.
For a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
And we've got just the dealer.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru. Yeah.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Well, looking at our station right now, our live Lehigh tire conditions continues to be mild. We're at 69 degrees, humidity at 97%. The pressure coming in at 29.83 inches of mercury. And we got through the day without seeing any rainfall, and notice the winds about 5 to occasionally 10 miles per hour. Live 35 Skycast Doppler, notice all the activity concentrated as you head toward New York. That's where all the showers and storms are right now as I speak, and for the most part I think we'll stay on a dry side through tonight. Now a shower or storm could develop heading into tomorrow. Boy, I tell you what, it was a very mild night last night, and it's going to be another mild night as we head into tonight. A very warm, in fact we can call a hot day today, getting up into the 80s, like Wilkes-Barre, Scranton getting up into the lower 90s today, and tomorrow I think all of us should get up into the 80s as well. 76 now at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 70 in Mount Pocono, 74 in Philly, 79 in Selinsgrove, 81 in Williamsport, and 77 in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area from Nanticoke through Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, and Lehman, temperatures continue to remain in the 70s. Satellite and radar, this yellow box was that severe thunderstorm watch that was in effect. Northern tier of Pennsylvania, extreme northeastern PA. You see them showers and storms up north making their way toward the east. I think we'll be in pretty good shape as we head through the overnight hours. Tomorrow, a shower or storm can pop up at any given point, especially afternoon and evening. And then as we go into our Thursday, looks like some more showers and thunderstorms scattered in nature will develop. And then Friday, a few more scattered showers can't be ruled out, especially early on. So a little bit of some unsettled weather over the next couple of days, and then it pans out quite nicely, getting more comfortable and cooler as we go into this upcoming weekend. You see those temperatures only in the 60s for daytime highs, and some very cool, comfortable conditions at night, dropping down into the 40s.
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, speaking of warm temperatures, hot race for County Controller in Luzerne County. We have the finals in. It is Walter Griffith successful over Karen Sepa-Herco, 5,690 to Sepa-Herco's 4,283. So Walter Griffith successful for the Republican nomination. On the Democratic side, Steve Urban, who had switched parties from Republican to Democrat the last time, he loses to Michelle Bednar. Michelle Bednar earned 11,668 to Urban's 8,055. And we do know on the Hazleton Republican side, Cassatt 521, Perry 421, and the write-in candidate that it doesn't list right now at 407. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Cunningham is confirmed. Sousa, Shatter, Corelli, and Schneider are the top vote getters there and win that election in the borough of Cunningham. Of course, complete results coming up tomorrow at 5 o'clock on Topic A, and more tomorrow night right here at 10. Good night.